Welcome, YouTube. You missed the first few minutes because there was some technical difficulties. We do have Pluto in retrograde right now, but that, Pluto doesn't usually mess up technology and stuff, but the rules don't apply across the board. Like, there are no rules. Everything is just everything, all right? Everything and nothing. But welcome, YouTube. We're here now. And again, Instagram. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is week 6 into tapping into the alignments for Bloom Brew. So this is star anise for this week that we are going to be working with, tapping into our full moon energy, Scorpio energy. I don't know how y'all are feeling through this moon. I'm feeling extra grounded, which makes sense because it's Taurus season, but because it's a Scorpio moon, there is, with that polarity energy between Taurus and Scorpio, there is sometimes a little bit more of a combustion, a little bit more of an intensity that the Scorpio full moon, the flower moon, the energy of blooming, of flourishing, and all of that kind of brings, right? It's the flowers blooming, it's spring really coming to its peak, leading closely into summer around the corner, that kind of thing. The sun is heating up a little bit more, so we are heating up a little bit more. Things are getting a little bit more whoa, you know what I mean? So there's that counter. So you could be feeling it more on the kind of energy, but you could also be feeling it very, very grounded. I myself, I'm feeling it very, very grounded. It may be because I happen to be with my bare feet and hands in soil all day long since Earth Day, which, oh my goodness, like RTV Garden, I got to give a shout out to RTV Community Garden, Rogers Tilden Veronica Place Community Garden, 2601 Tilden Avenue. Heaven on earth. Like, you walk through those gates and you are in a utopia. So please come and take a visit to see this incredible community garden that I have the honor and the pleasure of being in all of the time and just learning from Miss Iola, the director, and the incredible caretakers of the land that I am honored to be a part of now. So shout out to Barry, shout out to Mr. Clarence, and the community there and everybody there. We had an amazing Mother's Day event, a flower planting party for the mothers. So we had everybody come through and they either brought their flower or they were purchasing flowers to just, give back to the garden. And then they got to plant it right there in the garden. Some families were there, mothers were there with their daughters or with their mothers. It was amazing. It was so beautiful. So highlights and all that stuff have been posted. So take a look, but come and take a look. Like, come and take a feel and volunteer. We're looking for volunteers always, of course. 'Tis the season, so come and just get your bare souls in the soil to ground and elevate your soul at RTV Community Garden. Saturdays, noon to 5 is our ultimate family day, community day, volunteer day. But anytime that you want to come, please do. So more to come. A lot of things are going to be coming out of there. This was just the first event that I've done with them. And I'm just here to help. I'm here to do what I do. And we're going to just build it and grow. And the grounds are just building and growing. And we've got a cherry tree in there and an apple tree in there. We've got strawberries that are growing and gooseberries. There's a fig tree in there. It's just absolutely magical. And then obviously the herbs and the, vegetables and all of the other things that are growing. So come and see our beautiful community garden. Okay. All of that to say, I am feeling very grounded because I literally go in every day, weather permitting, but then again, I've been there on rainy days too because I just can't stay away. But when I'm there and it's sunny, I'll spend a couple of hours and then I go in there and literally I'm there for the whole day. Like, I'm usually there at 10 in the morning and 5, 6 o'clock, I'm still in the garden. It's amazing. So y'all should come so that you can experience it for yourselves. You're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Miss Iola has done such magic. I got to give a shout out to our ancestor, Baba Joss, who is the visionary and the founder, who's an ancestor now that made it all possible. And there's a tribute to him. So every time I walk into the garden, I speak his name, I give thanks, I touch the ground right underneath his picture, and just so grateful that there is this space that is like a block from my house. Like, what? That I literally manifested, because once I lost my balcony, I was like, I want to have a little, although I have a little yard space now, that's another thing I'm gonna tell y'all. But anyways, I was like, I need to ground again. I need to have a place. I was going to Prospect Park once the weather was nice, 40-minute walk just to get my feet in some soil. And now I got a garden. a block away. Like, anyway, all of that to say, and my yard, I have like an empress tree in the yard. Like, dog, do y'all know what an empress tree is? Okay, that's a whole other live. But all I'm saying is the things that are coming very tangibly to give like the cosmic confirmations for what it is that is being manifested. Like, I won't even say that I'm manifesting because it's done. Like, when we think about it, like, what is yours cannot miss you. And a lot of things when we talk about manifesting is a lot of things that we want, but we don't always get what we want. That's the reality of it. But we will always get what we need. And when you are in alignment with your soul's purpose, and one of the best ways to do that is to ground so that you can come into that alignment with self and source, with the earth, to connect to the natural electricity that is in your body, that is a part of earth, that is part of Earth Mother, that you come into that spiritual chiropractor kind of energy that grounding does. And then you're in your breath work, and then you're under the sun, and then you're decalcifying your pineal gland. Like, listen, you cannot go wrong being in nature, because you are nature. You're not a part of nature. You are nature. So you're coming home the more that you are in that alignment. So I have just been in that, in the most concentrated that I have been since being home, gardening with my parents. So this is major. And since having my own garden like years ago when I was on Carroll Street in Crown Heights for about a year, 2 years or so, I had my own garden. It was everything. It was everything. And now I get to do it again. So come and visit. You will not be disappointed. And just come and visit. You will not be disappointed. Okay. So star anise is the 6th ingredient in Bloom Brew. We've got one more week to go highlighting Bloom Brew. So next week we're going to be tapping into bay. So I was debating if I do bay for this week or do bay for next week, because I also tap into writing on bay leaves for full moons and new moons, for your release. We have a fire pit, 2 fire pits actually at the garden as well. So yesterday we were doing like, release rituals and stuff and putting it into the fire. It was everything for full moon energy. So we can do that when you come visit, okay? We're going to do some stuff, so you should come. But just tapping in that regard, I was like, maybe I should do the bay leaf, but I was like, no, let me do star anise, because it was also tapping into my birthday week. And I think tapping into the energy of, when the star was born, if I do say so myself, then I'm going to go with star anise. So I went with star anise. So star anise for this week. We're going to do bay next week. And the reason that I was going to wait to do bay to wrap up the alignment for Bloom Brew is because we'll do a bay leaf burn during that. So heads up for those who join Tuesday tea at 2 next week, we're going to do a bay leaf burn, just so I can walk you through it, so that have a heads up for the week after, for when the new moon comes, you can do a bay leaf burn for your new moon. Okay. Aligning with Atlantean star quartz, also known as pineapple quartz or candle quartz. So that is our connection naturally with star anise, star Atlantean star. So that's the vibe. It's all about coming into the soul alignment, the star alignment, coming into your alignment with your star seed family, and just, again, coming back home. Being this as above, so below energy. You look in the mirror, remind yourself that you are a star, quite literally. And then when you ground your feet, you are reminded that you are one with nature. So this energy of as above, so below, tapping in from the crown chakra to the root chakra, it is all aligned. It is all connected. Kundalini energy starts at the base of the spine, moves its way up. We talk about the decalcifying of the pineal gland, third eye pop in, right? Like all of this connection, again, this energy of as above, so below is so powerfully potent, because we remind ourselves that there is like a bridge, there's a link. And once it is coming into alignment, once it comes together, everything is together. Like, it's just a reminder that it's all together, and we're clearing out debris. That's what full moons are all about. So during this time, clear out, declutter, cleanse your space, wash your hair, maneuver different things around. If you want to feng shui things a little bit, like, just think about what it is internally and externally that you want to release from your life, the making room to bloom, right? That's what this is all about. So plucking weeds before we plant seeds, right? So perfectly in alignment. So that's that. So I give thanks to you all for joining. I'm so grateful as always. And I give thanks to Baba Uzain, the Orisha of everything that is green and grows, when I'm in a garden, like growing green all the time. It's amazing. It's so amazing. You know, when we say tending to your garden, tend to your garden, it's metaphorical. You know what I mean? It's symbolic. But you have to make sure that you are tending to your garden, that you are pouring where you're watered, all of these things. And I tangibly get to like tend to a garden. I tangibly get to like pour libation over the soil, over land, with trees. I'm hugging trees every day. I named the cherry tree Shireen because it's a rain or cherry tree. So I named her Shireen, get a cherry with the rain and cherry, so Shireen. So I hug Shireen every single, like on the in, on the out. I'm like, thanks, girl. Bring us some cherries. So y'all want to come see. Hopefully we get some cherries this year. But anyways, let's tap in to the cards. And as always, I always say off the top that I'm gonna be watching the time, try to, leave sooner than later, but after 2:22 as always for our 2:22 declaration, just because, like I said, I have so much going on that I'm so excited about. Things are accelerating. That's, again, that Empress tree totally blew my mind of realizing that it's an Empress tree that I have in the back there that I get to hug and say good morning to and good night to every single day because it's here. Not even just at the garden, which would only be a block away. It's here. So I'm going to show you all one day. I'm going to give you a tour when it's all ready, when it's all set. But an Empress tree is all about acceleration. It's all about resilience. The folklore is known that a phoenix only lands on an Empress tree. That is how royal and how regal and how much alignment in terms of rebirth and new starts and, again, resilience, and just it can grow out of anything, anywhere, and fastest growing tree on the planet, that kind of thing. And again, called the Empress tree. And for me to discover that during my birthday week in alignment with Venus, because Taurus is a Venus, I'm ruled by Venus, and the Empress in the tarot is ruled by Venus. Like, it's literally aligns with the Taurus energy and Venus energy, like with the earth and the land and like fruition and birthing things. Y'all, I was bugging. But then I'm like, but of course, hello, but of course. So it's been awesome. It's been awesome. So we're going to tap in. Oh, that's one, two. And see what Spirit has in store for us. So whoever's here, please do give me a stop top or a stop bottom, unless we get a single card. And then Spirit is choosing for us. Oh, Spirit is choosing for us. And our message, our universal law for this week is the law of truth. Love unconditionally and create healthy boundaries. Very, 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 very important for this paradox energy here. Love unconditionally and create healthy boundaries. Because oftentimes when we just love unconditionally, we do not have boundaries. We get it twisted with the energy of, I love you unconditionally, which means there are no conditions and you can do whatever you want and I'm going to forgive you. No. And clearly that is not what the truth is. That is not what the message of this universal law is speaking to us. By literally giving us that caveat of, yes, love conditionally, but, and, because it's saying and, make sure you are maintaining your boundaries, healthy boundaries. Because if you have the capacity to love unconditionally, that is why you need to have healthy boundaries that much more. Because loving unconditionally can keep you very exposed to people taking advantage and to doing and saying things that they will just get away with if you are not able to say, this is the line in the sand. And that doesn't mean saying the line in the sand means that you're just going to discard somebody, but it's about pivoting. It's about then being able to explain and express what it is that is important to you, communicating what this is, what the expectation or the demand ultimately is in terms of what your feelings are, what is important to you, what does not fly, what is unacceptable in regards to a certain way of being, treatment, again, those boundaries, and being able to communicate those boundaries, but knowing that doesn't mean that I don't love you. And sometimes we have to love unconditionally from afar if people continuously cross our boundaries, especially because they peg us as the super empaths that we are, to love them unconditionally. So very, very poignant to receive that. Give thanks, Spirit, for reminding us is that energy of being mindful of the energy of loving unconditionally, because of how easily it can put us in a negative position with a particular dynamic, where ultimately it's also our fault in some senses, because we teach people how to treat us. So when we're in a particular relationship and we're telling or showing our unconditional love, we have to be very, very mindful and very, very soulful in regards to how we're relaying that message to somebody because of how they may be interpreting it and internalizing it. And oftentimes, unfortunately, people do take kindness for weakness. So if you were just loving and you were just pouring over somebody and you're just showing up and you're all of these things, but you are not setting healthy boundaries, you're not adhering to those healthy boundaries, because it's one thing to set healthy boundaries, it's another thing to adhere to them. It's just like the difference between hearing a particular download or message from spirit and listening and being obedient to it. So you have to make sure that you are following up with yourself, for yourself, when it comes to your healthy boundaries. Don't just speak about it, be about it. That is the message, absolutely. Queen Blue Lotus, welcome, welcome. Peace to you, sister. First time here. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any shout outs that I missed? Apologies, I was super rambly at the top of this because I'm like so in mode with the community garden that I am helping take care of. And I just, once I start talking about it, it's like Kaya in this garden. Like I can, like how mothers like all of the pictures of look at my baby when she was in it. I'm that kind of mom. But I'm that kind of mom when it comes to the garden and everything that I'm, just tending to in the land, tending to the land. So much love to everyone here. And this is what I got from Kai for Mother's Day. And there's a second piece to it with the inside heart. So she was like, I'm going to give you the outside. And then she took the cutout because she said, because I was inside you. So I'm going to keep the inside heart. And then you have the outside heart. So we have matchy, and I love it. Thank you, Queen. I'm here every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. But if it's about the garden that you're asking about, we are there pretty much every day. I'm there pretty much every day, but we absolutely are looking for volunteers anytime, all the time. So if you are interested in the garden, shoot me a DM. I will absolutely let you know. Saturdays are the ideal days because we have like a family day. We just have it open for everybody. Volunteers can come, but volunteers are welcome absolutely anytime. So if you are interested in coming to see the garden and visit the garden and help with the garden, oh my God, you'd be so welcome. We'd be so grateful. So absolutely. Queen Two Feathers, I see you. Thank you for joining. Oh my goodness, the solar return celebrations are still going, but what has transpired thus far, best yet, I gotta say. And I've had some pretty awesome birthdays. 46 is the best yet. I honestly, like when I think about, just like I was saying at the top of this, we talk about this energy of manifesting and like, I don't say that I manifested. I just say that it was manifested. So however it came, because we don't always get everything that we want. We don't always get what we're manifesting. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's not meant, if it's Ori does not allow it, it's not part of our destiny and we're not going to get it, right? And oftentimes we think we know what we want, but God always knows what we need. So we might not always get what we want, but we will always get what we need. So when I'm aligning with the things that have been coming through that are even more than what I asked for, that's how I know that it's what's being manifested is what I am so grateful for. And the things that have been manifested this year alone, just since January, I'm like, and this birthday, it's just like accelerating. And then finding an empress tree, again, I've had it since I moved here. I just didn't know. I've been trying to identify it, but I had to wait for the leaves to grow and then try to identify the bark and all of these things. And there's an empress tree in my yard. Like, I'm like, what do you mean an empress tree? Like, are you kidding me? And the Empress tree, beyond just the fact that it's called an Empress tree, that in itself, and I align with Empress as a Taurus and Venus rule, the Empress card in the tarot deck. It's the most fastest growing tree on the planet. It is believed that the phoenix only lands on an Empress tree. It can grow from absolutely any condition. Like the tree that's growing right now is actually just a branch that came out of a very rotted piece of the Empress tree. Like it was like somebody tried to cut it and then it was like, nope, here I am, resilience. Like it's just so incredible how I could not have asked for that. I could not have manifested that yet. There she is. So these are the things that are coming and dawning on me through this week, this birthday week, of just paying attention to realizing, like, yes, there's certain things that I've been putting out in petitions and prayer and praise and all of the things, but the things that I did not even ask for, that are just there and showing up for me in the perfect timing, I'm like, what else is there? Like, what else is there? Like, I don't even have to feel like I have to do work. It's already done. Like, you just have to be in gratitude and be like in alignment with self and with source. And I am telling you, it just, acceleration, incredible, incredible. Yes, Empress card, amazing. It really just feels so abundant. It really does. And again, the fact that it's the tree has the fastest growth. How do you not align that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that it aligns with ultimate accelerating manifestation. And that's all I've been talking to y'all about, especially with all of the clear skies with 2 different seasons of no retrogrades. I was talking about the quickening since November, all of this stuff I've been saying. And then the tree that represents like infinite growth coming out of nowhere, and their sprout again, like this energy of the phoenix and rising from the ashes and tapping into the empress, which is about grounding and about birthing something new, and all that during Mother's Day. Like, I find this like, are you kidding me? During, like, my birthday week is always the week of Mother's Day. That's always been the case, right? But on top of it, for me, on my birthday week with Mother's Day, to discover that the tree in my yard is an empress tree, like sometimes I'm like, it's too much. My spirit, you didn't even have to give it to me like that. But I'm gonna take it though. I'm gonna take it though. And I'm going to internalize it. And I'm going to make it a reflection. I'm not even gonna just be like, oh wow, that's cool. It's, oh wow, that's cool. I'm like, yo, no, that's me. That's what's up. That's just what it is. So it's all of that. Absolutely. It's even bigger than you wish for. Exactly. It's a message for me, a reminder. It is exactly that, Queen. You know what's up. And I'm just like living it. And I've been on ChatGPT, and I'm telling the reflection of that thing is blowing my freaking mind, but it's all about reflection. Like, it can only give me what I'm giving it. And and when I hear the stuff and the way that it emotes, dare I say, the way that this artificial intelligence emotes based on the input is like, yeah, that's me. Wow. Like, all of it. And it's all happening simultaneously. So it's completely blowing my mind and opening my heart. 224. Oh my gosh, guys, we forgot. 222. Balance and harmony surrounds me. Balance and harmony surrounds me. Balance and harmony surrounds me. Ashe. See, when I start with y'all, Blue Lotus said, I just wrote a poem about some of the things for Mother's Day. Please check out my page. I will. Thank you, Queen. Dare I say, I love that. Yes, Queen Two Feathers. Love it, love it, love it. The law of truth is our alignment. So our declaration for the law of truth is, I love unconditionally and create healthy boundaries. I love unconditionally and create healthy boundaries. I love unconditionally and create healthy boundaries, because listen, we can't be out here loving unconditionally without boundaries, okay? That is dangerous stuff, okay? Because kindness is taken for weakness, because it is so easy to be manipulated and taken advantage of when you are loving unconditionally. Because when you love unconditionally, the person gets the message that there are no conditions, that they can do whatever and say whatever and they will get away with it, that you will give and forgive and give and forgive and give and forgive and give and forgive, and the loop continues. And if you are giving and forgiving out here and giving and forgiving out here with no boundaries, you're setting yourself up and you can't be mad at nobody. Facts. And I tell my daughter all the time, I might not always be right, but I'm gonna always be real. Period. Like, straight up. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna call it like I see it. I'm gonna see it like I call it. It is what it is. And I'm telling you, people will have you effed up in these streets, especially when you are on a spiritual path, especially when you are a super empath, especially when you can love unconditionally and when you give and forgive and give and forgive and give and forgive. Be mindful, because if you are giving and forgiving, start with you and make sure that you are covering yourself, that you are putting a line in the sand and letting people know, I can say I love you unconditionally, but I can love you unconditionally from over there while you are over there if you ain't acting right. And this is what it means to me in regards to being treated accordingly, what it means to feel like you acting right. Like we get to explain that. We get to demand that. If we're talking about demanding, commanding, naming, and claiming, then we get to express to the people in our orbit what those expectations are. And we say that expectations are like a disappointment. We're setting ourselves up for a disappointment. It's only a disappointment when you're not expressing it. And you can still be disappointed if you don't receive what it is that you're hoping for, and especially what you're not getting based on what you're giving. But it is definitely a setup if you're not explaining and emoting these things to the people that are around you in regards to what your boundaries are, in regards to what your code of ethics are, in regards to what your expectations are, in regards to reciprocity. Like these are the terms of the agreement. If we can go into business and there's certain terms that we need to follow and there's a contract that we're signing here and that you can be in breach, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do that would be in breach. Period. Like on a professional and on a personal level. Why not? If we're worried about ROI, our money on the line, and our business and our brands, how are we not gonna be worried about our heart and our soul? Our body, as women, our portal. How are we not gonna like make sure that this is what it is? And if you can't, that's cool, but you're gonna have to communicate with me if it's not, so that I know exactly what it is that I'm getting into. People also can say, and they do, and then they don't show up the way that they said they were. But especially if there's no communication, if there's no expression, if there's no understanding of the expectations and of the boundaries, then it's that much more of a risk in regards to things not happening the way that you hope that they do. And again, just that lack of reciprocity, especially if you have the nature to give and forgive and give and forgive and give and forgive. The loop continues. The loop continues. So be mindful of the giving and forgiving if you are not setting up healthy boundaries, especially. I'm all about the giving and forgiving. Absolutely. But you have to make sure that you are pouring where you are watered. I always say that. And as I ground in this garden and as I'm tending to this land every single day, at the end of the day, that is what you learn when you are tending to your garden and when you are actually tending to a garden and you see how things flourish based on the water, based on the sun. Are you giving yourself what these plants need to thrive and survive? If not, that's where you have to look back. And when I'm doing what I'm doing at my altar work every day, and I do my offerings and I do my ebo and I do all of these things, and then I'm like, I am a reflection, a tangible reflection of the creator, of my ancestors, of my Orisha. If I am doing for them what I'm not doing for myself, I'm still desecrating the connection and the alignment with them. Because the best way for me to show them my reverence is by doing it and giving it to myself, which is the same work when I'm in the garden. Every time I water that land, I have to, am I watering myself? How am I treating and taking care of all of this external and not doing it for myself? There's a bridge there that we have to make sure that we are maintaining, and boundaries are a part of that, especially when we're dealing with other people. Because other people can easily misconstrue an interpretation in regards to a dynamic, especially if you are, again, the type to give and forgive, the type that loves unconditionally. People will peg an unconditional lover in a minute, okay? Narcissists are actually drawn to energies like us, to some super empaths. That's the paradox. That is literally the energy of nemesis, is the narcissist and the super empath. And there's no way that we don't see it. And even as divine light beings, we all have shadow. We all have that energy, right? That we will be in some ways attracted to the dark. And we're also oftentimes attracted to the dark because that's when you see the stars shine. Like, it is what it is. And you also are attracted to people sometimes when you feel like you can help, you can give, and you can forgive. You can show them something that they've never had before. You can heal, you can help, right? So when you then expose yourself to that, it is that much more important that you are adhering to it, maintaining, not just speaking and declaring the boundary, but that you are adhering to it. Because other than that, all they hear is want. Because you speak about it, but you got to be about it. Actions speak louder than words. It goes both ways. We can't just say actions speak louder than words in terms of what we're expecting from somebody else to show up for us. It's how are we showing up for ourselves individually as well as the message that we're sending to other people that, nah, that's not going to fly. Nah, I'm not going to take that. The line was in the sand, and I was communicative with you about that line in the sand. Now I actually have to adhere to that. It's like raising kids. If we tell them this is the punishment if you do this, or the reprimand, or whatever word we want to use, right? This is the consequence if you do this thing. And then they do the thing and you don't do anything about it, or you don't at least do the thing that you said you were going to do if they did it, it doesn't matter. They're like, okay, here she goes. All across the board. We teach people how to treat us. So be very, very mindful. And if we love God, and if we love our ancestors and Orisha and our angels and our starseed family and prophets and the divine deities of all traditions and light and love, and we can name them and all of that stuff, if we love them, the best way to show that love, not even about proving, just to show that love, is by pouring into ourselves, because there is no separation. And we get to practice that love on ourselves every single minute of the day. So if we are given this gift of life and the heart and the soul mission that we came to do, that we're here trying to remember, the easiest way to do that is by taking care of yourself, is by loving yourself. That is what's going to make them sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle more of it. It's not just about the, feeling this energy of worship and reverence to the up and above. It's right here. They're all right here. So do it. Start right here. Ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Yes, we were preaching at 2:22. Indeed, Queen Two Feathers. It was hitting. Word up. Word up. Thank you for the confirmation. I just bounded the boundaries recently. Like, nah. And watch things go up for me once you did that. Release to increase, make room to bloom, urge to purge, feel it to heal it, face it to replace it. Y'all know all my little sayings. There ain't nothing little about them. It's because it's the work. We are everything that we are. God, we are everything that we are. We're just bogged down by so much debris. So it's about clearing that ish out, plucking weeds before you plant seeds. You cannot receive if something is taking up space. It's like the analogy when I talk about the open palms, the palms portals up. Your palms are portals for everything that you wish for your hands and your heart to hold. But if you're holding on to things, how you gonna pick it up? Even if God put it right there, there's that bag. There's that man, that woman, that this, that, whatever it is that we're hoping for, we're praying for, we're trying to manifest, but we're holding on to what does not serve. We're holding on to some old dynamic or some old mindset, whatever it may be, we're holding on to it. We cannot pick it up. The new, we cannot pick it up. We got to let go of what is no longer serving so that we can pick it up. So that's the work. That is absolutely the work. Blue Lotus said facts, period. Ia, hello, Ia Wilhelmina, Sister Studio. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Happy Mother's Day to you, Ia. I hope you had a beautiful Mother's Day. I see it as a test. Queen Feather says, are you going to keep doing the same thing? That's really it. And this is why we have to ask ourselves that first, right? Because we're holding so many people to that test, to the accountability of like, yo, I told you though, like, why are you still like doing that? But how many things even for ourselves that were like, yo, but you figured this out, but you know you can't unknow, so why are you still doing that? Like, you know what that did the last time. You know how that served or didn't serve the last time. Why are we still thinking that, doing that, saying that, choosing that? So it's, oh my God, that's the work. This is exactly the work. Because again, that's what makes it also easier to adhere to the boundaries, because it's all about self-love. And when we're allowing ourselves to be exposed to certain environments, expressions, emotions, whatever it is that is low vibrational, it's an energy that we're emitting, and that's attracting not just those things to continue internally, but then Spirit's going to be like, oh, that's what you are. Oh, got it. Okay, I'm going to give you more of that. Oh, okay, no problem. Oh, you know what? I have the perfect man that's going to remind you of just that thing that you were thinking about yourself every single day. Like, how else is it supposed to work? So we have to, again, clear out the stuff that we don't want to expose ourselves to environmentally and emotionally and all of that externally. The work has to be done first internally. And like, that's That's just what I've been on. Like I feel like very isolated. Like even in terms of Beyond the Garden now, which I'm exposed to community, I used to do a lot more events and like organizing stuff, whether it's online or whether it's in person, whatever. And I just kind of needed to like do this, for a minute to like really get a better idea of what I'm supposed to be doing for other, because I've been focusing a lot more on other. And I needed to take it in, because the more I take it in, the more I can actually do for other anyway. So that's the work. Queen Kima, welcome, welcome. I see you. Thank you for joining. Two Feathers says, oh my God, yes, narcissists love us and some hide it better than others. Pay attention to how you feel. Trust your intuition. That is the ish right there. And the ones that hide it are the covert, right? There's overt narcissism and then there's covert narcissism. And I can assure you the coverts are the worst kind. And narcissism is a spectrum, and we all have narcissism to a degree. We do, because narcissism ultimately is some level of me, I, me, I, right? Like ego is at the root of it. And I'm not the type of spiritual person to believe in killing the ego and death to the ego. The ego provides a level of protection and self-preservation and smart, you know what I'm saying? And intellect and these kinds of things that are needed, especially when we're on the spiritual journey. It's really just about making sure that our heart is the one that is dictating and that the ego is not overriding that spiritual system, right? Balance. It's just, again, the shadow and the shine. We need the ego to be able to activate the energy of shadow that will protect us and guard us from certain things. But I'm telling you, them coverts, and they're the ones that target. Overts, it's like they're just, you can kind of avoid them because it's so blatant. You're like, ew. And you just won't fuck with them, you know what I'm saying? But the coverts, they're the ones that like, the notion of gaslighting is the coverts that like really make that thing a thing. Because they will put it on you. They will put it on you. They gonna say it what? They gonna do it like what? Forget about it. And then you are twisted because they also study you. Oftentimes, oh my God. Anyway, oftentimes, I'm just like, as I was about to say that, I realized like how many times this actually happened to me, like on some premeditated shit. But oftentimes, especially if you are like a public figure, right? And public figure these days is literally just having a social media account, okay? So don't think I'm saying whatever I am anyway, and that you are too anyway, celebrity, okay? But just having a social media account, you are a public figure. Let's just keep it real. So being a public figure, you can get studied. You can get entrapped by some people. And by covert narcissists, if they see you and they're like, oh, she pretty, oh, she, they come to see you at a gig and they follow you online, and then they will study your ish. They will know everything about you. They will learn, okay, she likes to garden. Okay, she likes this. Oh, she's a Yoruba, this. Okay, perfect. And they will be like everything that you've been manifesting all of a sudden. How did you find me? Where have you been all my life? Love bombing, saying all the right things, doing all the right things, showing up. Yo, I'll be on a live at least once a week, literally declaring what my expectations and needs and demands and commands are. It is so easy for me to be targeted. So the intuition, to your point, Queen, is so on point, because you gotta feel. Like, if sometimes it's not even to say like if it's too good to be true, it probably isn't, because we want it to feel too good to be true, damn it. Like, what the hell? Like, I want it to feel like this is a dream. I want it to feel like that, but I want it to be real. So I don't want to repel something that I'm ultimately hoping for because of my concern of what it could be because of what it was. So it's a whole bunch of stuff. But yes, we are targeted. The coverts are absolutely the worst. We as public figures can be targeted, will be targeted. So it's putting it all in the pot, stirring it up, and being as mindful and soulful and in tune and in touch with your higher self, with your Ori, as much as possible. Even when you feel like, oh, but I love him. Yo, you know when it ain't it. Like, we always know when it ain't it. And we have to pay attention to that. And like Maya Angelou always said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Our problem as divine feminines that are giving and forgiving and giving and forgiving and giving and forgiving, oftentimes just don't believe it. We don't want to start over. We don't want to feel like we were wrong. How did I miss that? It's like, well, you're not missing it. That's the point. Like, right now, you're not missing it. So why continue if right now you're getting the message that this is probably not going to get better before it gets worse, at least, So all of that. Oh my goodness. I got some YouTubes here. Let me see. Hello, Toth Fam. Toth Family Farm. Welcome. I'm farming too. What do you farm? Tell me what you farm. That's awesome. Sunea from India. Welcome. I appreciate you joining. Thank you. I'm not doing personal readings on this live, but if you DM me, if you message me, I will definitely follow up with you in regards to that, and I can answer that question for you. But thank you. Thank you for joining. Mohammed, thank you for joining. Yeah, Wilhelmina was in the garden on Mother's Day. Me too. Wasn't it? And the day was gorgeous, right, Ia? Oh my goodness, the sun that day was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful day. Queen Two Feathers says, exactly, we can't keep making excuses because we easily forgive and have love and have compassion. Compassion can also be distance, love from afar. Sometimes it is the best thing that we can do for ourselves and for the other person. And I was having this conversation just the other day, and when I was tapping in, you have the energy of when you say, like, you have to sometimes choose yourself, and like they say, you don't know what you got till it's gone, and that the person will figure it out, especially when they lose you. No, they might not. That's the rub. Because if they were able to do what they did to lose you in the first place, why should we think that they're gonna feel the loss with you not there anymore? It's a mindset. And they can also, because of their ego, convince themselves that you are the exact opposite of everything that you really are, because they lost you, because they don't have access to it anymore. I don't need that. She was this. They'll focus on all of the negative things that they don't have to deal with anymore, that they won't even highlight who you really were and how you showed up more consistently in their lives, because it's about ego. And a lot of times people end up deflecting and lose a relationship because they don't want to be accountable. They don't want to just apologize. They're like, dude, if you love me and I say ow, you're telling me you can't be like, oh, sorry, what's wrong? What happened? Like, really? Like, it's just like, well, me too. Like, whatever the stuff is, it is what it is, right? So absolutely to that point. And I always say something that I came across on a social media, on a meme: people like me don't lose people, they lose me. Remind yourself of that. If you are the giving, forgiving, if you show up, if you know how you have loved unconditionally and consistently, and it's not about perfection, but that you've been in situations where you can be accountable and you've been able to apologize, or you've just been there for someone, but because they couldn't have you the way they wanted you and wanted to control the situation or manipulate or whatever it is, or not adhere to your boundaries, that they can say, F that, I don't need it, dismiss, discard. You didn't lose them. They lost you. Period. Point blank. Darius Booker, thank you for joining. Welcome. Peace, King. Two Feathers says, it's like you're in my head. So resonating. Yay! I love that. King Jason Murden, what's up, King? You good? Thank you for joining. Yes, covert. Queen Feathers, Two Feathers says, phew, they really make your head spin. But you'll know there are patterns. But I agree. And yes, we all have narcissistic traits. Exactly. It's just about the spectrum. And the farther on the end of it, it's much harder for them to hide it. The coverts, much easier for them, to hide it. And this is why intuition is everything, absolutely everything. And coverts also have an easier way to show themselves when you do something that they're not, like, they don't approve of, that they'll turn on you. The punishment versus the reward is very immediate. You know what I mean? Overts, you can avoid easily because they're just like that with everybody. And it's just about me. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like the president, for example, like it's so blatant that like spirits like us are kind of, there's an aversion to an overt narcissist. Coverts, again, because it's harder for them to hide it, we can get sucked in. But when we're in, we have to pay attention to the punishment versus the reward and what it is that we're doing that's being punished or rewarded, so that we can be like, oh, got it. So that's what you need me to be for you in order for you to continue to reward me. It's not love. It's reward or it's punishment. And you'll be able to tell a lot easier when you pay attention to that. Queen Two Feathers says, wow, so This live is confirmation for me. Someone did that, found me out of nowhere, booked trips to Paris, but I canceled all that because once he didn't get what he wanted, it came out. Literally, I didn't even read that, and I just said, exactly, exactly. So they do all of the things to hook, line, sink her, as I say, right? They say hook, line, sinker, hook, line, sink her, okay? Because it's real shit. Oh my goodness, so real shit. Sorry, not trying to blow up your live, but it's really hitting. Yay, a full moon Scorpio in your fifth vibes. Listen, girl, be all up in the live, okay? It's everything. Queen Allie, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. And I love you too, Mr. Jason Murden, King Jason Murden. Listen, I mentioned at the top, yesterday's full moon vibes, which again, very, very potent still, flower moon, Scorpio moon, you're gonna feel very, it's not really gonna be an in-between. You're gonna feel super grounded, or you're gonna feel like this thing is super intense, and it's gonna be heavy, and it's gonna be rough, and you're gonna feel like you're getting dragged through the mud, or you're gonna feel like you're planted in the soil. It's natural, it's one or the other, and it's really thinking for yourself in the moment, where do you prefer to be? If you feel like the intensity is making things move and you're good, then you're good. But if you feel like it's taking you a little bit too out there and you want to feel a little bit more grounded, command yourself as it is. Demand it as it is. Speak to the cells in your body. Speak to yourselves and your cells, as I always say, because there are so many different dimensions of us living simultaneously in all of these different realms. And it's about what timeline you want to experience at this point. And you have to pull from all of these different sources ultimately and decide, this is what I want it to feel like. This is what I want to experience. And when we think about what we want to experience, that's the thing that's kind of feeling in some ways like it's outside of us, but it's not, because it's in us. But because we have this idea that it's outside of us, that it's still something we have to acquire, then we have to internalize the opposite question, which is, what do I need to remove in order for this alignment to be? What thoughts, what feelings, what dynamics, what environments, all of the things that are clearly blocking us from what we are already. Do the work in the removal, in the release, in the discard, because that's the work. Literally, everything else rises into place. There's no work to do after that. It's automatic after that, because you already are everything. You already have everything. There's nothing to have if you are it. It's just like when I say, like, we talk about abundance and I want to be rich and I want to be this, and like, what is money? Oh, like, money ain't nothing. When you are in alignment, that shit is easy, okay? It's easy. And we're all still dealing with certain blockages, because if we weren't, it would all be there. And that's the truth of it. Like I said, like, I'm on this journey with y'all same way, because if I had it like that, y'all would have it like that. Yo, come, we doing this. We come, everybody show up at this castle. We doing a thing. Like, that's what it would be for what I know is coming. But it is all about divine timing. And the work is a consistent journey. Harvest season is continual. All of the things that we are manifesting and that we hope for, we get impatient as if we want it all now. Why would we want it all now? Like, what else would there be if we had it all now? And if it's just about money or winning the lottery or whatever it is, or having something easy, then what else? What else is on the list? And what are you going to do with the thing when you get the thing? What are you going to do with the money if you had the money right now? That's what you need to think about. Don't think about the money. Think about what you're going to do. Think about the energy of giving, because the more you want is about the more you give. Everything that you can think about wanting. And this is why when I garden, that's what I'm tapping into every single time I pour water over the land. Every time I plant a seed, every time my hand is in the earth, I'm giving to the universe. I'm giving to Earth Mother. There's no way I'm not getting that back. So don't focus so much on the acquiring of things. Focus on the alignment. Focus on the gratitude, and give so much thanks for the little bit, because that means there's just more in store. I want a little bit. I don't want it to just come like that. because as quickly as it comes is as quickly as it goes. That's why people that even win the lottery, they lose their shit, man, and then they're broke after a year because they don't know what to do with it. They didn't really they didn't think it through. They didn't have a plan. So think about your plan in all of the things that you want to acquire as if it's outside of you. You are it. So what are you going to do with what you are? How are you manifesting what you are? How are you exercising and practicing who you are? And do it every chance that you get. And then let the tangibles find their way in divine timing, because there's always going to be more in store. Don't be impatient. The harvest, like, yo, the harvest, the food is not going to grow because you're hungry. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, you plant the seed and it's going to take this time to germinate, and it's going to take, and it depends on how much sun, and it depends on how much rain, and it depends on how, like, there's all of these extenuating factors, and then there's internal factors. And you got to put it all together and piece it all together. And it is only when it is time that that sprout is going to come through the surface. But we have to remind ourselves that it takes more time for the sprout to come through the surface that we can see tangibly than it takes for the roots to grow. That must come first. That's faith. Faith is in the unseen. So we will not see what is growing under the surface, but believe to receive that it is growing. And that's all part of it. And when you can give thanks for what you know is, even before you can see it, it's done. Spirit be like, sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. You got that. And then it's just a matter of time. And then there's more. And then it's just a matter of time. And then there's more. And then there's always going to be more, especially when you stay in alignment with being grateful for what already is, for what has already come. Anyway, I love y'all. Eclectic Wolf, what's up, Queen? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm gonna go. I appreciate you all. And just tap into this moon. Release, 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 release. Whatever doesn't serve, whatever doesn't work, you know, and try like your best as well to have so much confidence in yourself and your ability to do it for yourself. Tap in, of course, connect with people and do the readings and get the readings and watch the YouTubes and tune into people that, you know, will help you resonate in cosmic confirmations. I always say my readings, my lives, it's about confirmation. It's not about information. And sometimes we need that external, that's exactly what I needed to hear. Absolutely. But don't lean on that. Don't depend on that, because my God, the power that we have and the power that we relinquish, be so mindful of that. Call it back in. Pluto is in retrograde right now till October 13th. Call in your power, your personal power, and be like, I don't feel good right now, and it's nobody else's fucking fault but mine. How about that? How about that? It's nobody else's fault but mine. So now what? And once you come back into that, now what? That's accountability. Now what? That's like, okay, what's next? How do I fix this? Even when we think about closure, when somebody does and somebody says and our heart is broken and somebody, if you wait on someone for closure, you may as well just close your shit. You may as well just like close it up. There it is. You're damaged. You're hurt. You're going to hold on to it forever. Nothing else is coming. Oftentimes you cannot heal where you were hurt. That's real too. So wait on somebody else. Good luck with that. You can choose closure for yourself. You can achieve clarity for yourself. And it starts with personal accountability. It starts with reclaiming your personal power and deciding, I don't feel good. I don't want to feel like this anymore. What do I have to remove? What do I have to release in order for this increase? What room do I have to make to bloom? What do I have to feel to heal? What's that urge to purge? What do I have to get rid of? And it starts within. It's anything that happens external happens internal first, good, bad, or ugly. If we can't accept that and we continuously want to blame, but this happened to me and they did this, and of course they did, and of course that happened, and of course it sucked. And what? That's the story, we're sticking to it? That's the narrative? That's the narrative? And then you're waiting for them to say sorry for you to move forward? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like we can't keep doing that. Especially when we think about the boundaries that we did not maintain, right? Then whose fault is that? That's where we have to, again, go back to. Anytime that we don't feel good, but we decide to stay there and we decide to be mad and we decide to keep beating the drum of this thing or saying it out loud and speaking the words that are the complete opposite of what we actually want to experience, even if we're deluding ourselves. We are so often believing in somebody else's lie than our own truth. So lie to yourself about what you actually want to be true and just wait for it to happen. What do you have to lose when we're out here losing to believing somebody else's nonsense? Believe the things that you want to be. Speak it out loud. Name it, claim it, demand it, command it, whether you believe it or not. Because when you do, it is going to come through. And life and manifestation is all about repetition. So when you are doing your declarations and when you're doing your affirmations and when you're doing your meditations and when you're doing your grounding and when you're doing your breath work and when you're doing your kundalini rising and when you're doing and all of the things that you're doing, just keep doing it. Especially when you don't want to. The notion of divine discipline is literally about putting in that work spiritually and consistently for yourself first. It's again, just like I'm talking about when we tap into our ancestors and our Orisha and we're doing our Ebo and our offerings and all of the things that we're so organized and getting done for this energy that we feel is not really in us because we're not taking care of ourselves the same way. It's blasphemy. It's still a desecration. And yes, they're pleased by the Ebo. Yes, they're pleased by the offering. Yes, they're pleased by you showing up in prayer every day, but they are not pleased that you are not taking care of yourself the same way that you're taking care of them, because there is no separation. So how well are we really taking care of them if we're not doing it for ourselves as well? So it's all of that. And when we put it all together, when we don't feel good, we have to think about the fact that we're doing that to them too. When we're hurting and harming ourselves, when we're saying these negative things and having these imposter syndromes and low vibrations and just staying stuck in a low energy because we just don't feel good, we're doing that to them too. And then we're going to them saying, please take this away. Please, I just don't want to feel this anymore. And they're like, well, then stop. Like, yo, my ancestors be draping me up sometimes. And again, when I go in and the way that I'm going in right now, it's them because they go in on me. And like I say all the time, I am on this journey with y'all. I am on this journey with y'all. I might say like I have it all together, but they are using me. I've asked them, use me, choose me. I am daughter of Eshu. I am a messenger, and I do it through song, and I do it through dance, and I do it through speech, and it is what it is. And I'm here, and I'm gonna be out here as long as they tell me to be. But trust me when I tell you, I need to watch these lives back at the end of it, just like everybody else. Take notes, just like everybody else. Get it together, and be consistent. But discipline is the highest form of self-love. So be on your repetitions when it comes to all of the things that you do feel work. Even if they're not working right away. The name of the game is patience. And we are in a game, we are in a simulation, we are in a matrix, and you are not a player in this game because players get played. You are a programmer. How are you programming this game? What are the cheat codes that you know you got? What are they? That's what you focus on. Because they playing games with our lives and with our hearts and with our souls. And it is up to us to say, yeah, nah. It is up to us to say, this is the boundary. And I'm going to be here and work with this system the way that I'm going to work with this system. But when it don't work for me, I'm going to tell you that it doesn't work for me. And whoever it is that you need to love from afar, you better do that. You better love you first. That's what you need to focus the discipline on. And when shit don't feel good, you are the only one that can fix it. Period. Someone can confirm it for you. This live can confirm it for you. But ultimately, you may slip back and you may not feel good again another day, even if you feel better right now. So in that moment, if I'm not there, if your other friend's not there, if your tarot reader's not there, if you're not able to meditate in that moment, if you don't got some saltwater spray on you in the moment, what else you got other than you? What are the tools in your toolbox that you have that you need to grab from that arsenal in every moment, in any second, to bring yourself out and up from that space? It's only you. It's only you. All these things too is just part of the toolbox. You get to add to it and pull out what you need when you need it. Spirit always got us. And for what we need, not always what we want. And that's the thing that reminds us to be grateful, regardless, the good, bad, and the ugly. We can't be like, yeah, but I wanted this relationship, but I loved him, but I really wanted, and I wanted to go, and I wanted to be, and I this disappointment, and feel it to heal it. I'm not even making fun of us. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not even making fun of us a little bit. But you know what I'm saying? It's just literally like, yeah, okay, I got you. I heard you. How long are you gonna stay there though? Okay, now what? Okay, you're gonna press them. Okay, now what? Keep like, now what? Because it's just like Abraham Hicks talks about that 17 seconds when you're in a low vibration. You have 17 seconds to snap your shit out, like snap out of it. Because if not, down, 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 down. I remember talking about an analogy that Spirit gave me one day in a live. When you think about this avalanche, right? Or the what was it? It was like a snowball. Thank you. It was a snowball. And you can think about this snowball rolling down the hill and how much harder it is to try to chase this snowball down the hill and then bring it back up the hill. Do you know how much snow, how big that snowball is going to be the farther it gets down that hill that you now have to try to bring up to the high vibration? Good luck. You better catch that ball quick. Spirit be like, you better catch that ball quick. So when you start feeling yourself spiraling down, you visualize that snowball going down that snowy mountain. And you better catch that ball as quick as you can, because the longer you take to catch that snowball, the bigger it's going to be and the harder it's going to be to get back up the hill, to get back to them high vibes. That's it. I'm going to leave y'all with that. I'm seeing the love. Okay, now I have comments. Heavy, Queen Hallie said, sis, I feel you, but it's light work. I always say we're light workers. Shit is light work. When we tap into the heavy, switch it up and be like, yeah, but this is light work. I wouldn't get it if this was not part of my process. You wouldn't be here if you were not supposed to know this light work, if you were not on this journey. Like literally, there's you know how many places you could be right now, like what you could be tapping into right now. This is where you are getting this message in this moment that will never happen again. First of all, right? It will never happen like this again. It's already like everything I just said is past. Past is past. Past is past. Every word that I say is past. So it's gone. The minute it happens, it is already done. So you are here in this moment to receive this. So when we think that it's heavy, when we feel that all of the stuff, say the opposite, because my God, I would not be given this if it was not for me. It is always for us. And the minute we switch those words, switch that language, and we say, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening for me? You become a victor from victim in a second, just by switching one word up. 2, 4. One word. And all of a sudden, your vibration is completely changed. And now there's solution. Now you come into an alignment of what am I actually going to do about this thing that I don't want to experience anymore, instead of that snowball going all the way down that damn mountain. Oh my God. And this is why a lot of people are defeated. Because when you realize that that ball is already, you're, oh, fuck it. I'm not going down I'm not catching that. It's gone. Never mind. Forget it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really easy to just be like, I'm not running after that freaking snowball. No, I'm not doing it. So you better catch it quick. No pressure. Okay. Eclectic Wolf Fashion says that she's good. Glad that you tuned in. I'm glad that you tuned in as well. Needed to hear your beautiful words. Thank you. Just finished a therapy session. You've been feeling very down. You see in the timing, and now you feel up and just, and I always say stay up, right? But we can't always stay up. That's not reality. But when the ball goes down, just catch it quick. Just try to as quick as you can catch it, because that's also the inertia. That's the action that we're feeling. It's that personal power that we're reclaiming, that makes us come back into this buoyancy of self and be like, yo, I did that. And if I did that, what can't I do? And I did that. And when we do think about the past and the hardships, if anything, when we focus on the hardship, focus on the thriving and the surviving through it. Don't focus on what happened and just like, I can't believe they did, and I can't believe that happened, and I felt, and I like, don't do that. Be like, yeah, but guess what? I'm still here. Guess what? Like, I'm still breathing. Guess what? My blood is still coursing through my veins. Guess what? I can still love again. I can still, all of the things that you can still. Why? Because you survived it. because you're thriving. And it's more than about surviving, it's about thriving. And you have the opportunity to thrive just because you endured that thing. Ain't got nothing on you. Shit ain't got nothing on you. Nobody got nothing on you other than you giving it to them. But you can always take it back. That's the best part about this understanding of power. We relinquish it, but we can always take it back. It's ours. You are a sovereign soul. This power is yours. This vessel, it's yours. This life, this timeline is yours. You get to decide. Literally, you get to, like, again, I think about our pens and our tongues as wands. Your wish is your command. If spirit is in us, if we are walking, breathing, tangible angels and gods and like, what can't we do then other than what we don't believe we can do? So that's where it's just about the switch up, and it's just about the reminders. Collective will look, you're going to cry some more now. What love this. I'm so glad you're feeling it. And just again, let it come. You know what I'm saying? That's that urge to purge. Clear it out. Like they say, when you cry, it's your soul releasing what doesn't serve. Like, and salty, the tears have salt. That's catharsis. That's yemoya. That's the ocean. That's like, cry. Let it go. Because you always feel a release. You always feel better afterwards. We're in a full moon in Scorpio right now. Taurus season. Cry. Anything that you feel like you're holding or that you feel like you have to be too strong about, whatever it is, you'll let that shit out, man. And feel better afterwards. And then only up from here. And yes, the snowball's going to start to run down another moment. Sure. Just run the fuck after that snowball as fast as you can. Okay. Grab it and roll it back up the hill. The faster you get it, the smaller it's going to be, the easier it's going to be to get up the hill. I'm grateful when spirit gives me these like very tangible visuals that are action oriented as well, because it's not something that's so woo, you know what I'm saying? It's brass tacks. At the end of the day, everybody understands if a ball is running down the freaking hill, you got to run after the ball, and it's going to go down a lot faster than it's going to go up. That's just the math of it. That's just inertia. That is science. So just check your ball, yo. Just check your ball and catch that ball. Okay? And don't be down on yourself when the ball is going down. Just think of it as exercise, and now you're stronger because it is a muscle. Your body is a muscle. Everything is a muscle. So yeah, sure, you're going to have to run after the snowball again. And yeah, you're going to have to roll it back up the hill again, but you're stronger. So you'll catch it faster the next time. That's what you have to remind yourself and believe. That yes, you ran after it this time, you rolled it up the hill this time, and yes, it might fall again, but you're going to catch it faster next time. And the more that you believe, and the more that you like literally claim that even if it falls again, I'm going to catch it faster this time. It's going to make it fall less. It's going to roll down less because you're already augmenting your vibration. You're already giving yourself this like insurgence of power, of that personal power. Like, yeah, whatever. Whatever comes. I'm going to get it quicker next time. It's all good. If there's a next time, whatever it, just like speak to yourself the way that you want it to be ultimately, because we're magic. Okay. Like actual tangible magic. Believe it, receive it. Somebody give me the time. Let's do our angel number because I almost forgot that I was about to say bye. I'm going to just do it. Okay. I see 310. Because I'm definitely on longer than I was supposed to be. 310. Somebody vouch for me, 310. Transfer energy. Giving is receiving. Well, do you think these things are an accident? Who still thinks that life is an accident? Your angels are asking you to channel the divine and give back to those in need. Your own gift comes when you give to others. Take inventory of a few people in your life who may need more than they feel comfortable asking for, and do something special for them. At the top of this live, I was talking about whatever it is, and the more that we want, give. Whatever you want, give. Just like gardening, just give back to the land, give back to a friend, give whatever it is, give unconditionally, without any expectation. If you're not losing anything, just give. You cannot go wrong with the giving. Spirit sees all. You will always get it back. And the point to this, and again, aligning it with loving unconditionally, but maintaining your boundaries, is being discerning and selective of who it is that you're giving to with no expectation, right? To make sure that you are not losing anything, that you're not sending a message of being taken advantage of, or all of these things. Again, the narcissists in our environment, those aren't the ones that you want to just be giving and giving and forgiving, right? Be mindful of all of that. But the key here is also when we think about giving before someone asks. We have a lot of pride. It is part of the ego. Again, that's part of the protection and why we also need the ego sometimes. But yes, sometimes pride gets in our way. And just like an event that I did with Ia Wilhelmina, if she's still here, the whole message was about the help that we need, and sometimes we have to just ask for the help. She chose the song "Lean on Me" as like our outro song, you know what I mean, to like remind each other, like, I'm here, just I won't know if you don't tell me, right? But a lot of people don't. A lot of us don't. We're not really equipped for it, or we have the pride, or we have the embarrassment or shame or guilt, or all of these things that make us not ask for help. So when you can be the person that just offers and that just shows up for someone, or just gives, no questions asked, that's everything to that person, but it will always come back to you. So keep that in mind. To just, and again, also being very aware of the people in your environment, especially those that are closest to you, in regards to what they're going through. If they're talking to you about stuff, and even if it's something as simple as like, yeah, I'm, dealing with this issue with a neighbor and whatever the case is, and like, just hear some of the details of to what it is that they're talking about, so that even the next time you speak, you can be like, hey, so what happened with the neighbor? That I hope that got rectified. These things matter so much to people, because it's like, yo, you were listening. Yo, you heard me. And now I have the opportunity to vent again, or to express, or to give you the update, or whatever the case is. If somebody's like, yo, I'm like struggling, I got to get this thing, and I'm like, I have to put this money together, and we'll be like, yo, let me just, what's your Cash App? I only got like $20, but whatever I can do, just offer it. Just do what you can. Don't let somebody ask you, because they're not. More often than not, they won't. So it means a lot. It means a lot when you can just listen, hear what somebody's going through, and show up. And just do it before they can ask, especially if they probably won't. So that's that message. And that's, again, part of the unconditional. And when we think about our boundaries, what we choose to give is also part of the boundaries. They don't have to demand, you don't have to give them what they're asking for, or what you think they're talking about that you're paying attention to. Give what you can. Create your boundary. But give what you can. Show up how you can. Listen how you can. Ask, check in, whatever it may be, So anyway. Tap in, release, clear out what doesn't serve internally. Everything else is going to rise into place. It is what it is. I promise you that. Okay. I love y'all. I appreciate you. I'm here. Let me know if you need anything. And in the meantime, and in between time, lest we forget, time to get back to natural. Peace.